if it, depending on what took place, if it ended up to the high to a high at the end of the day, we would have a sharp drop over the weekend. First thing in the morning, if it ended up at a low, we'd have a big move higher. We ended up the day at a high, and lo and behold, we dropped all the way back to the lows of the day, which was also something that I said would take place, based on the happiness card from the first being indicating that a decline would start from the high and continue into the low of the day here on the 4th, and that's exactly what took place. Guys, don't be this guy that just came on like a few days ago doing something, okay? On Friday, he hops on, like, I've been on live for like an hour and a half talking about if it goes this way, do this. 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 For like an hour and a half. And then like the minute before I'm going to hop off, this guy jumps on and he says something that I find offensive off the bat, but I mean, you know, some people are just ignorant. He says, all right, let's see if this is going to happen. I'm thinking in my head, dude, how many of these predictions have you looked at? Like, how, like, it just, if you know my predictions, it's just like an annoying, dumb thing to say on a live. Like, if you know the accuracy, like, that's just offensive. You look like an idiot. So don't do that. But that's not even what this is about. So he says, let's see if there's this decline at the end of the day. Totally misses the whole live where I'm talking about if it ends at a high, there'll be a decline over the weekend and first thing in the morning. Right? Totally misses all that. And then over the weekend, I come on my channel and I see this obnoxiously offensive comment from the guy doing something. I wish I got his full username before I banned his ass. But it started out donations. What a scam. People lose thousands of money on this. And I'm thinking in my head, what the fuck are you talking about? People don't donate money when they're losing it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, even more so, all that does, that was just an attempt for the guy to feel better about the fact that he was a dumbass and probably put all of his money into one trade, like thinking like, oh, if this guy's off everything, it's going to be... Dude, I say every day on live, don't trade like a jerk. Trade responsibly. Because if you don't trade responsibly, I'm going to be wrong that time. I'm not right all the time, right? So this guy misses all that, comes on, goes against him because he bet house on something, and then he puts on in a comment that I'm a scam. Bro, all you've done is get yourself banned. Literally will never be able, and he's gonna come on in the morning today, get online and look at the market and be like, oh my god, it did do that. It dropped like a rock. Too late, my friend. Zero tolerance for assholes. Excuse my French, but zero tolerance. You're banned. Next. I challenge anybody to come on here and find the scam. I challenge you. I will pay you $1,000 if you can find the scam. I'll pay you $1,000. Idiots. Hey, Weird Thomas. How are you? All right, so this is an important price level here. Let's mark this off. Oh, this is the science price level, actually. Did we mark that off as a science price level already? What do we mark this off as? Princess of Swords, right? Okay, so we've got science price level up here. Yeah, I was just talking about this guy Dune. I don't know if you were on the Friday live session before the close. This guy Dune jumped on. He'd been coming on for a few days and just saying dumb stuff. I knew he was going to be one of these idiots. Like, there's very few of them, guys, but they do appear occasionally. So anyhow, he calls me a scam because he missed the entire live where I'm like telling people, if it goes this way, do this. If it goes this way, do this. You know? Oh, all right, man. I'll see you later. So science price level. And what we should see is a failed attempt to break through a key resistance here in the first half hour, creating some sort of peak. We're already near RSI, the upper end of RSI in a 1 minute chart. Oh, we got plenty of time, plenty of room to go on a 5 minute chart, though. Oh, you want to come in my lap? Okay. You're just a little whiny. You're just a little whiner, huh? You too, Weird Thomas. I sort of feel like we've got more to go to the downside. Like, I think we'll probably see the bottom of this decline here, like this immediate decline, I should say. We'll see a turnaround probably just before 10 o'clock, it seems like. Yeah, so it should be a bullish day overall, based on the combination here of the Queen of Wands for the 1 month. We're sort of like at Knight of Wands and indolence, really. Hermes, you're too much, man. Find a spot to sit and stay, okay? I don't know why you always want to go to the side where my mouse is. Oh, okay. You want to sit in my arm? Okay. You're a good boy, Hermes. I don't even know how that's comfortable. That's my arm. Like, what? His feet are hanging off the chair, basically. If I'm wrong, though, about the low being like a little bit later than now, we might have already hit it. It is possible, in which case we would rally into a crest between 11 and 12 that we sell off from, and then there's more move to the upside into midday. What are you crying about? All right, buddy. You gotta go sit over here. You're getting distracting, my man. Go over here. You're a good boy, Hermes. Back to my arm, huh? You are too much. Hermes, stop it. Go over there. Jeez. So stubborn sometimes. It's a pretty sharp drop just after the open here on the 5th. All right, Hermes, that's too much. Go. You want to go on the bed? All right, so end of day trade. There's actually a couple of trades in here. I'd say unless we did like a really sharp drop here back to lows, we probably have already seen it. Like if we're going to see a lower price level or the same price level again before 10, it'd have to be really, really soon, right? It's like 940. It could happen, but it's not a definite. We're kind of like in between card territory here. And it's probable that we have our lowest low thus far for the month on the 5th. Thus far for the month, right? It's not like we've been in December for much. We had one day of December. So what I'm saying is that we should see on the 5th, we should see price levels below. It may not stay that way, but at some point on the 5th, we should see price levels below like this 455.32 ish. Let's go with 455.50. All right, so as far as that goes tomorrow, we should very likely see a lower price level there, just based on a couple of things. But really, we've got a lowest low significator here, so we're leading into that. We've also got some cross-reading correlations between the monthly and the dailies with low significator cards. There's a high correlation for the month here on the 5th as well, which really may be today. Right? It could have been right there, or it could be at the end of the day. It might be at the end of the day. It's hard to say because there's some really choppy behavior going over here. I think we have both a high and a low at the end of the day here. Like we're bullish into the last hour, and then there's like a brief peak, and we sell off pretty notably from there. Hey Terry Cheese, welcome. Appreciate it, Terry Tees, and thank you for the support. I see that star there. Yeah, it's like I expect that they'll happen, especially when you're working in the stock market and you're working with psychic kind of territory. People are skeptical of scams in both areas. When you combine the two, it's like these smarty pants think immediately, oh, this guy's got, look, he's a good looking guy, he's clean cut, he talks smoothly, he must be a scam, he's stock market. And dude, I spent my whole life struggling to figure out how to do this. So when somebody comes on and they say something like that, like to deliberately try and deter people from it because they were stupid and lost their own money by not being like, have common sense. You don't like come onto a channel, see the first thing that somebody says, and then immediately jump on it. Like dip your toe in, watch, see how things progress. Like, and then when the guy's wrong, all of a sudden it's a scam. I mean, if I was a financial planner or financial analyst and I was wrong, would he have called me a scam? Fuck no. Excuse me. He would not have called me a scam because he's a prejudice. He has prejudice against extrasensory, against psychics and mediums. He has a prejudice, and it's probably one of the more common prejudice. It's not even considered a prejudice. Like, think about it. Back in the day, like when there were slaves, I'm sure they didn't think that it was prejudice. Like the people that were keeping them as slaves thought it was like normal and everything was great. They were totally freaking prejudiced, but they didn't think they were because it was accepted, right? That's what goes on today. Maybe not on nearly as extreme of a level, but people think that it's okay to just automatically, oh, he's a scam, because there's no such thing. Like, it's not okay, guys. It's prejudice. So somebody like that gets banned immediately. That's all he accomplished. He didn't piss me off. I was annoyed by it, and then I removed him, and I was like, okay, he doesn't get to benefit from my obviously accurate predictions. There's nobody on the planet that comes close. I was wrong one time. He picked that time to go all in and ignore my advice, which is never to ever do that. Why be a fool? Like, if you see my accuracies in the 98 percentile, I mean, why would you, oh my God, I gotta take everything and risk it on this one trade. Dude, I'll be right 98% of the time. Just take a little piece and trade it. And then do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. Like, I'll be wrong once in a while, but you make a ton. If you take it and you bet it all on the house every single time, eventually you will lose everything. And that's not my fault. That's you being a moron. Dune. I'll say it again. His name is Dune, and he's banned. Bye-bye, Dune. I also go into the website, into the contacts, and I remove them and ban them there as well, so they can't even go into the website. I don't need their money. I don't need your support, Dune. Like, my accuracy is so phenomenal. It's only a matter of time before I'm world famous. And I don't give a crap what you got to say about it, Dune. You lost the opportunity, not me. Disrespect. Appreciate it, Terry Tees, really. People like you, like, I'm a sensitive guy, so people like you really help keep me, like, running smoothly. I mean, I am a sensitive guy. I'm a psychic, or you better believe I'm sensitive. All right, so let's check out Bitcoin, see what's going on here. Look out for the XRP 2024, should be coming out, I think on the 6th. Oops. That is some move, right? And we've got high correlators here. On the 2nd, I have this as a location of a possible highest high. Probably not for the month. Maybe for the month, actually, because it's the Strife card. It's going to be a very significant one in any case. I want to show you guys something. I spent my whole life, guys, you got to understand how offensive it is when somebody tries to pull something like that. I spent my whole life listening to people tell me that I was wasting my time, that I needed to get a real job, stop being a dreamer, stop quitting on Wall Street, like, you know, all sorts of BS from everybody, not just one or two people, like everybody everywhere. Doctors, teachers, lawyers, my parents, my family, my friends. Nobody took me seriously for like 15, almost 20 years. Nobody took me seriously. And then one day I learned one little piece that I was missing from the puzzle, and my accuracy went from like roughly 75% average to 98 overnight, and it's stuck that way. There's nobody who comes close. And I know that for a fact because I was a Wall Street broker. I was in Wall Street. I was a financial planner. I was a Wall Street broker. I was an insurance. I mean, you name it. I did it. I was a day trader. I was an options proprietary trader. I mean, the list goes on, my friends. I know all about it. And the one thing I learned real fast is that I did not belong there. Where is that? I mean, look at this, guys. You don't get like an increase in traffic like that because you're wrong or because you're scamming people. That's not how it works, my friends. But I don't need you to believe me. You can believe me or you can move on. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'll still be doing what I'm doing. Okay, so we might actually this failed attempt to break through key resistance may be combined. That may be the crest that forms here between 10 and 11 o'clock. So it might take place a little sooner, and we have this decline down to and through support to meet another support. We do a U-shaped reversal below it, come back and reuse it as support. That's kind of the luxury card. So if we are already in the luxury, then I would say that the low, at least the first lows in for the day, there's a possibility of seeing it again towards the end of the day. It's possible. It's a little unclear because there's so much going on here in the last 3 hours of the day. Hey, Conrad. Awesome, dude. I love it when you point stuff out like that to me, Conrad, because there's so much information. Maybe it makes sense, like now that maybe it makes sense for you guys when I talk about it now. Like I can only do like sometimes somebody's like, oh, can you do a December reading for me? And I'm already working on February. I can't. It's not like I can't actually do it, but the fact is that I can only spend so much time on a certain month before I have to move on. If I do more time on December, then I have less time to do January, if that makes sense. There's so much future. I could be stuck on the same piece of future forever. So, you know, when somebody tells me something like that and I can just go look at it, it's pretty dope. So on the 29th, I don't have a 29th open though. Science card from the 29th. Oh, where I marked it off of Princess of Swords. Yeah, it's basically the same price level. It comes back around right there. Makes a lot of sense. And on Friday, I did say that looked to be like it was going to be the price level that we met. Ended up being like right on the cusp of the first and the fourth. It looks like we may be topping off on a crest here, guys. But be careful. This is a choppy day, and overall, it's to the upside. So I wouldn't be betting to the downside here. Not until the very end of the day. If we're at a high at the end of the day, that's where I would probably jump into another short. I guarantee you that I was wrong on that because Dune would have been a huge problem and he wouldn't have donated. He would have taken that money and done dumb stuff that didn't make the world a better place. So the universe made it real certain that he wouldn't be a part of this. And you can see only a scum person would behave in such a manner rather than taking responsibility for their actions. Try to purposefully or intentionally damage somebody's reputation wrongfully. I mean, that's a scum person, guys. The universe will protect me at all costs, and that's exactly what happened. They showed me real fast that this individual did not have the he did not deserve the information on this channel and to benefit from it. So he bet it all, and the universe was like, "Up, we're gonna show him." I freaking told you guys. Like, think about it logically, really. Think about it logically. If you know that somebody's right 98% of the time, why would you take everything that you have and bet it on one trade? There's a 2% chance that you lose everything. That's just stupid. That's not defensive living. That's like ignorance. That's like you have hubris, right? It's 98. It's not 100% of the time, right? And where's the rush? You know that 98% of the time you're going to make money, so why don't you just take an appropriate amount and trade it? Right? You'll make money 98% of the time, and you won't have like, oh my god, am I going to lose everything, and make some silly decision. Like, 100%, and still learning things as we go. There we go, guys. Like I said, we were topping off. This is that looks to me the luxury card right here, just as we move into the 10 o'clock period. Well, if we go really, really sharp into a low right here, then it's not the luxury. That's the failed attempt. Because we could end up, like, if this is a really, really sharp drop and it takes us to a lower price level, then I would say we've got the luxury card next. If we don't go to a lower price level, then this is the luxury card. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh. I see what you're saying. So the reason why I say if we go lower than this low here, if we go lower in just the next few minutes, like I said, it would have to be a really sharp drop. I said that about 10 minutes ago. A really sharp drop to take us to a lower, the same price level or a lower one. I would say that we've just finished the defeat card. But if it's not lower or the same price level that we come to and we turn around, I would say that we've already met the luxury card. But my sense is that this might actually be the defeat card that we're seeing here in action. Hey, AV. Good morning. Oh, you're a Virgo. That makes sense. All right, now my option is up. And that's why I always like what we're doing now, guys. How I'm like, it's either this or it's this. You'll find in a lot of cases that you'll be like in between. Like it's I call it kind of like no man's land, where you're kind of like in between being able to determine which card we're in. But the way that you determine that is by what happens next, and that's why ESOMeta is not only powerful for for like predicting the future, but then when you take it and utilize it in real time, it becomes like 10 times more powerful because you're wrong. Like predictions are off sometimes. It's human error, but in real time you can then recalibrate your expectation because the reading's not wrong. It was the interpretation that was wrong. So you just go and you look at the chart where you were wrong, see what the cards say, and 98% of the time in a situation like that, it's going to be that cards are going to be right and you just read it wrong, and you'll be able to get back on track. There's a little small like percentage where it's just not going to pan out. It's fractals, so occasionally the pattern will not be the same. Oh, I want to show you guys something. I found this. I was cleaning out my. I had too much stuff in my storage. So I had to make storage on my computer. I don't have my photo in this one, but this was. I took a screenshot of this. This was the last CNBC $1 million portfolio challenge. That's me in the 98.88 percentile of the world using only tarot. This was 2011. Before I learned that little piece that made my accuracy go from 75% to 98% overnight. I was in the 98.8 percentile of the world. Now here's the thing, guys. This was the last $1 million portfolio challenge that CNBC held, and the reason being is that the top 1% was found cheating. They found a way to exploit something with the Explorer browser that allowed them to like close out of a trade if it didn't go their way without it registering. So they were like, the top 1% was totally cheating. But think about that for a sec. I was in the top 2%. So if you take out the cheaters, the top 1% of the world that were cheating, I was in the top 1% of the world using tarot and only tarot. Bring it. And that wasn't just 1 week, right? 98.35 on another week. I think I had a 96 on one. 96.35. You don't make it to Wall Street because you don't know what you're doing, guys. It's like some people are just so foolish, man. I would be very mindful not to be like looking to get into a short position or anything like that here, chasing any decline, because we moved to the upside pretty notably here. It's pretty choppy, but there's a pretty big move to the upside here in the late morning session into midday. IWM for the week. Why is it only doing that? What the heck? Oh. Here we go. Trend direction day by day for IWM. Okay, so we're going to turn around here, guys, in IWM. If this is a bullish day, then I would say we fall pretty hard off of it overnight. Either that or we have a pretty significant move to the downside here today. Important resistance highlighted tomorrow that we've met many times before and failed to break through. Could be this right here. Then we have a breakout through that. It looks like that resistance on Wednesday. Cash out opportunity on Wednesday looks like to cash out of a long position. Yeah, the rally ends on Wednesday, or excuse me, on Thursday. Cash out opportunity on Thursday. Breakout on Wednesday. Cash out opportunity on Thursday. Rally ends on Thursday, declining into Friday, and then there's a fast sudden move higher on Friday, ending that decline. That's the IWM. Hey, Conrad. Looks like they meet their expectations. Probably don't have anything on here, but I'll check it. It's going to be in the book. No, nothing. The earnings stuff, if there's earnings information, it's in the ebook. By the way, guys, you can get the ebook here at our supplier ran out of the tarot, so we don't have the tarot deck for sale here. You can also use the Rider Waite tarot. It's not the same deck I use, but it's pretty similar. There's a couple differences there, so you need to be careful. But the ebook here will teach you how to utilize the system of ESOMeta, which is what Conrad's talking about. That's this system of pattern recognition. Okay, so this looks like luxury to me. So we had this low first thing in the morning. Now we're in this like luxury here, right? Which is the decline to and through support. To go below that support, you come back and reuse it as support. And if this is the luxury dip, then that would mean we have a pretty significant move higher coming pretty soon. Unexpected move to the upside pretty soon, like before noontime. But it looks like we're ahead of the ahead on timing a little bit. Like this right here looks like it's taking place at 10 o'clock rather than 11 o'clock. This little ruin. So we'll see. So it looks like they meet their expectations. And then what's the chart reaction? Oh, it's going to be pretty mixed sideways behavior. There's going to be some price swings in there. Oh, come on. I originally got Lululemon at $8. I recommended Lululemon, guys. It was 2008. I just walked off Wall Street. The real estate market had basically collapsed. I'm walking around New York City like aimlessly, not knowing like what I'm gonna do next because I didn't have a plan when I walked off Wall Street. And everywhere I go, I'm seeing these Lululemons open up. It was so obvious to me. This is what you call clairvoyant fishing, or the early stages of clairvoyant fishing. It was so obvious to me. Everything's going out of business. Lululemon is opening stores. Obviously a buy, right? It went from $8 to what's it at now? $459, guys. Or actually, I had it at $11. I think I had it at 11. I had it at $11, not $8. All right, I'm gonna roll here, guys. So just to recap. Oh, matter of fact, let's see where this goes before I roll, because that's a little interesting there. What I'm looking to do, though, the real trade is at the end of the day, a brief peak that's easily missed. Matter of fact, man, it's a tricky day. I'm going to say the same thing. If we end up at a peak at the end of the day, which I think is unlikely, but if we do, I would utilize that as an opportunity to short. If we end up at day's lows at the end of the day, I would open up a long. I think we'll probably, it's hard to say, guys. There's so much going on at the end of the day. We've got high and low correlation. It could be that we have a high and it goes to a low. That could very well be what it is. But in either case, at end of day, if we're at lows, I would open up a long position and I would close it here first thing in the morning. This luxury card is most likely the same price level as this luxury card. And this indicates a pretty sharp drop, this ruin in this placement. end of day on the 5th definitely would be opening up a short position. Whoa. If we go lower at this point, I'm going to have to recalibrate what I think's happening. If we go lower than the low already. Now, this is probably where we have a turnaround to the upside. You heard there can be a positive world event after mid-December. Is it possible the December 13th event is positive or short-lived? It's short-lived. It's definitely short-lived, but let's see. I don't think it's positive, but it's definitely short-lived. I mean, the impact on the market not necessarily short-lived though. Yeah, it's not a positive. It's not a positive. Something after mid December could be positive. Well, it gets kind of mixed here, guys. Like, we've got high correlations here in the last week as well as low correlations. It's really difficult to read this last week in many of the December readings because we've got highs and lows going on. There's going to be some pretty wild back and forth stuff going on there. Is the orange ruin a trough or a start of a rally tomorrow morning? Are you talking about this one? AWAS. You're welcome, maybe. So this indicates a lot of ground is covered into a trough. It doesn't necessarily indicate the start of a rally, but based on it being a trough there, that would, sort of imply that, Probably have kind of like a sharp decline and then like a U shape and a big move back back to the upside, probably around the same price level that we declined from. If you didn't take a profit on a short position here at the open, this might be like we might be moving into your opportunity to do so. But again, if we go lower than the low at this point in the day, I'm gonna have to recalibrate my expectation of this entire day. Oh, it looks better on a 5-minute chart, that's for sure. Oh man, it does seem. I mean, I'm getting the sense that we're going lower here, guys. Hey, Ellen, I'll come back to your question in just a sec. For cross reading purposes, do you have bullish Tesla and Google today? No, it doesn't look bullish for Tesla today. Looks like we have a peak that we sell off pretty notably. It might be possible we have a higher price level tomorrow morning and before a sharp decline into a lowest low thus far on the 6th, 7th. But it's a decline tomorrow as well. And then you said Google? That one's already tanking. Oops, wrong one. Oh, whoops. So it looks like that prominent peak ended up being on the 1st. This doesn't look bullish to me, no. I think this price level here, we probably come back to like 131 on Thursday. We probably revisit the 131 range on Thursday is my sense. But we're gonna go south from here for a bit. Oh yeah, we've gone lower. Okay, guys, so I need to think about this. We're probably gonna go pretty hard here, guys. It's just this is really fast sudden move higher, which correlates towards the off of the low at the yeah. I think we've got lows at the end of the day, guys. There's probably a brief peak at the end of the day, but it's not going to be like at a high. It's going to be like out of lows, a brief peak, and then into lows. So that very likely this ends up being like our lowest low, and then we revisit it again at the end of the day. By this I mean like between the 12 and 1 o'clock hour. This probably becomes our lowest low, and then we revisit it in the last hour. So if you're in a short position, if you got into a short position here, I would say hold it. If you're in a long position, you shouldn't be in a long position right now. I don't think. Yeah, but it doesn't though. The art card it's correlating towards this high at the end of the day, so that's why it's so tricky. So, but see, this trade here is actually talking about tomorrow. The swiftness card. Where did I see? The swiftness card could be indicating this move here near a low. Like I said, we'll be. I said we'll be below this price level by tomorrow, and we're already below it. Great. Yeah, but it's more of like a. I mean, it could technically, you could say this was the art card. Yes, you could technically say that, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it as an indication of this being the high here, because it's really tricky at the end of the day. It's choppy. It's overall a bullish card. Overall a bullish card. So it's interesting that we've got all this bearish stuff going on. All right. So, will BTC drop? Is the BTC drop done? I don't think so. I mean, we might see the same price levels around these highs here tomorrow, but overall, I think there's a trough on the fourth, fifth. Matter of fact, I think this was probably the swiftness card here. Like a ace of disc swiftness, really. But we should see like this failed attempt to break through resistance and decline, and then on the fifth, it's like a move higher to a trough and then back down like a full retracement. Kind of choppy there. Hard to say. Is it done for the day dropping? Let's see. I see more downward to go for Bitcoin. All right, my friends, I'm going to roll with that said. I just want to reiterate for anybody that maybe missed. So on Friday, I'm on this live, and the whole time I'm on this live at the end of the day, I'm talking about how if it goes in this direction, it's hard to say which direction it's going at the end of the day, but if it goes in this direction, do this. If it goes in this direction, this is going to happen, right? I gave 2 possibilities, and then this guy Dune something hops on last minute. He's like, let's see if it does this. Like, so ignorant. Don't say shit like that on my live. That's just like, it's offensive. My accuracy is well beyond any, like, let's see if it's going to do this. Yeah, I'm wrong sometimes, but don't say that. That's obnoxious. So I knew immediately this guy was going to be an issue, because just by saying what he said at the end of that live, where he's like, let's see if we're going to have this sharp drop at the end of the day. Just by saying that, he clearly indicated that he missed everything that I said on the live. So he probably jumped all in, and then he leaves this nasty comment over the weekend. Donations? What a scam. People lose thousands of money on this. And I'm thinking, you scumbag. Like, he said that just to offend me, because obviously it's not a scam. I challenge anybody to go find the scam. Prove to me that it's a scam. Prove to the world that it's a scam, and I'll pay you $1,000. Okay? But what's really silly about this guy is he got banned for that immediately. He didn't stop me. He didn't offend me for more than like a minute. Right? He didn't do anything to deter my growth or anything like that. All he did is made it virtually impossible for him to get back from that loss that he took. Because, like I said, 98% of the time I'm right. If you bet the house all in on a trade, I'll probably be wrong that time, and you'll learn the hard way, just like this guy probably did. But if you come on my website or my channel and you try and pull some crap like that with the word scam, bro, you are gone, and you will never ever have an opportunity as easy as this one to make that money back. Smart guy. Later, guys. Blessings to all my angel investors. You know where to go. You know what to do. I'll see you guys around 2 o'clock today. I've got another appointment in the afternoon, so I'm going to get on around 2 instead of 3. Blessings, my friends.